with B-Bad and Brandon. Wait, let's do it again. No? Yeah.
That's how we know we started.
That's how I like it.
And see.
Yeah, we just don't have one yet.
Okay.
We don't need one.
We don't need one because we've got the clap.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You have
Not the clap. Oh, well, that's still going. I'm not going to edit that out. On that note, welcome. We'll now let there be light.
Let there be light.
Oh.
Damn it. Who fucking was that?
Welcome to the Platform Podcast, episode 4.
Yeah, we're at 4.
Yeah, we're at 4 now. Wow.
We're in the future.
Good job.
We are your host, Brandon Greco, and Mr.
Johnny B. Bad.
Johnny B-Bad Nelson.
Tell them about it.
I don't know. I never really paid attention to the Nelson part. It was just the GOAT or
No.
Johnny B. Bad.
Nobody knows his last name is Nelson. It's great to see.
What does it say on your passport?
Nelson.
It's like legally
Scratched out.
With pink hair too. Just so you know.
we have a very special guest here today, joining us all the way from Melbourne. Come up this weekend for to celebrate, I guess, the epic training day and provide a bit of insight into some other stuff. Mr. Gawain Johnstone. Is that correct?
Press the applause button for your editing. Yeah.
Yeah, Gwen, 21 words.
Is this your question that you were telling me about earlier?
No.
Well,
Wow.
no, it's not.
I wrote
It gets
it.
way better. I promise. 21 words, who you are and what you do. I'm counting the words.
Okay.
You can't go over.
21 words.
Starting now.
Who am I?
Use 4 words, dude. This is what we gotta explain this better.
No.
Is I a word? Fuck! I'm a very passionate person. The things that drive me, I've learned to be very, very focused and passionate about. Yay.
Nailed it.
Help me.
I think he's the first person to get to 21 and actually get to 21.
Yeah, I counted it right that time too, I think.
Well done.
Yes.
Props to Johnny.
Very happy about that.
Suck it, Goodyear.
Yeah, Goodyear and Polly were before you, so pretty honoured to have you on as our third guest.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Offensive that I'm 3, but okay, whatever.
Well, it's B-Bad's fault.
You're a third favourite.
Oh.
Well, we could probably make an exception. Polly will just be very upset.
I'm your favourite from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm the favourite out of Queensland.
Ariane, you're very close second. Just side note. Man, he's gonna. I'm gonna need a message after this, being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Who's everything?
So, thanks for coming up. It's been a pleasure having you up here. Obviously, we had our training camp, the epic training camp yesterday, which was fucking a huge success.
Yeah, unreal day.
That was an unreal day. Like, shout out to Paul from Start Training and Amy from Target Nutrition. Like, you 3 guys presented. Do you want to share with people listening and watching, because we'll be on the YouTube soon,
The YouTubes.
what you kind of spoke about yesterday?
I didn't really present. I just
Had a conversation.
I had a conversation and I had an idea of where your business was going, what your people needed, what our people need. And I just kind of created, to use powerlifting terms, some specificity around that, and then got in the conversation and steered you into where I wanted you to go and where I wanted everyone else to sort of follow.
And where did that go?
Tierville, population Greco.
It was actually, I was like, I knew exactly where you're going as soon as he sat me down. I was like, this guy. So he started asking questions like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Absolute motherfucker.
That was by far one of the coolest
Yeah.
seminar, motivational / mindset style things I've been a part of. Like,
Thanks,
you
man.
to pull Brandon in as our coach and then make him vulnerable and open up. You know, you can just see everyone just relates with on their heads, just like, man, this
That's
is
really cool.
unreal.
That was exactly what I wanted to do. Funnily enough, I hadn't prepared anything. If you check my bag, well, that's a lie. If you check my bag, I have an A4 piece of paper, which was like, what questions would I ask? And I wrote probably 6 or 8 questions, and then my conversations around those questions, and then I ended up asking like 2 of them.
That's unreal.
And then I didn't even read it.
Is that something? Have you done that structure before with anyone else?
Absolutely not. This was just a read that I had, a feeling, and I was like, this is going to work. And I had a conversation with a couple of people about it, and they're like, I don't know, I don't really understand how that's going to work. And then I had a conversation with a colleague, who then it was kind of a similar scenario, and then they were engaged in the conversation, and it literally worked exactly the same, just with a much smaller group. And I was like, this is going to be money. And that's what happened.
That's got to be your thing, man.
Yeah, I don't. That's so weird because we're powerlifters. We're like, I'm a competitor by nature. It's never, and particularly now, it's never something that I was like, holy crap, I'm gonna get like flown around the world to talk about my life.
Yeah,
it's retarded. Like, I know you can't use the R word, but it's silly. You know what I mean? Like, to get paid to go overseas and things like that, silly.
Do you remember your first time you got to do something like that?
What was the first time? I think the first real big time was obviously Manila.
Yeah.
That was last year, yeah?
A couple of years ago. Yeah, and it was just like, it's just uncanny because, you think you go into these situations where you're going to teach people how to lift.
Yeah.
But they're more engaged around your life story and how you can help them, because everyone wants to take some value from it. But what was the engaging part, and what keeps people coming back around and keeping engaged is the situation with the life experience and things like that, because obviously relatable and on some form of level with everyone that's in the room.
Yeah, and you've had a hell of a journey.
It's a good journey, isn't it? It's not bad. I've done some dumb things and some good things.
Well, tell people, I think, can you elaborate on who you are as a powerlifter, like where you've kind of ended up, and then I think you've kind of worked back from that.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough that I compete in, I guess, our biggest and best competition. I haven't performed at the level that I've wanted to perform, particularly last year, but the year before that was I was beginning to get to the point where I was like, okay, I should be in the money for the top 3, top 4 on the planet. So that's kind of where it should be, but at the moment I'm just working myself to get back to that position.
What's your biggest lifts today?
Comp lifts,
455,
215, 390.
Wow.
So they're not bad. It's just like I have 2 lifts which are elite, and it's just because of this bench press has held me back a lot. That's not really anything to sort of be like, if I had some bench press, I'd be able to do this and this and that. Everyone has a weak lift somewhere. You know what I mean? But at that level, it's like it's splitting hairs now. It's like 10 kilos, 15 kilos is the difference between first and fifth.
Yeah.
So it's
especially big dogs.
Especially big dogs because they're so close at the top.
Yeah, like even that last year,
It's coming down to last deadlifts.
It is, absolutely. And last year's competition was one of the best, just because it was so close. Obviously, you didn't have the best performance.
Last year?
Yeah, last year, big dogs.
Oh yeah, I had horrible performance. It was just one of the. I learned a lot from that last year's preparation. I put a lot into that prep, and the investment that I'm talking about is obviously both the physical and mental investment into the application of what I was doing day to day in order to perform twice essentially last year. But it just didn't work out that way. Sometimes you do things, you're like, this makes sense, and you get to 2-3 weeks out and like, well, I'm cooked. This hasn't worked out as I planned, and that's probably what had happened. The Arnold wasn't great for me. My squat was great, but
because it's the first time
working with Chad
into the Pro 11. That was at the Arnold.
Was it last year? I don't know.
I think it was Pro 11. Yeah, Pro 11. You squat 1,000 pounds. Become one of the first people to do it in Australia.
Yeah.
Now I remember this because obviously we've been friends for a while. I was watching you warm up, and you're like, just watch my depth. I'm like, yeah, cool, man. You're on the money. This is like, I've told many people this story because it is one of the most fucking badass things I've ever fucking seen. You come off after your second attempt. What was your second attempt?
Yeah, so I think it was, my first attempt was like 400, and it felt heavy as fuck.
Yeah, it didn't move the best.
It did not move good, man. And it's like 400 for me is like 200 for a normal lifter. If I don't blast 400, that's a mental cue for me. Like, this is not good. This is not even 90%, and you're this is not moving great. So I was like, all right. get your fucking shit together right now.
Yeah.
And I remember walking off the platform, and I typically only listen to two people on comp day.
Yeah.
That's Pat and Max, because they know my training, they know my body, because they've been there from the beginning.
Pat's your handler.
Pat's my handler, Max is. But they're both my handlers. We bounce ideas off each other. And it was just literally just like, get your fucking act together. This is absolute fucking nonsense. And it was just like, come on, let's go. Better than that. Let's do this again. We're a little tighter now. We need to switch on. 435 was my second attempt, and I just fired up a little bit more.
Fucking quick too.
And I blasted that motherfucker like something shocking. Yeah.
Because that was your last attempt at Big Dogs 2, where you took the squat record.
Yes, that was.
The Australian
I
squat
spun the
record.
cameraman around.
Yeah, Nick, that was hilarious. So you blast that out, and I remember you walking off the platform, looking at Max, and just yelling at him, fucking give it to me, let's go. And I'm like, this is the fucking coolest thing I've seen. Like, you're fucking in your element.
I was fired up.
You were, man. And you're like, just give me that 1,000 pounds.
Yeah. I was ready.
He's put it in, and then what's your next thing? You've just blasted 435. In your head, you've got 1,000 pounds.
In my head, mentally, you could have put whatever on the bar, and I would have tried to blast it out of the hole as hard as I could. You know what I mean? It's like the first time I squatted 400.
Yeah.
If you watched the 370, fuck, that was probably one of the best squats I've ever executed. It was money, even for me, who's hard on myself. Like, that was money. And Max came to me at that Arnold and was like, what do you want to do? Pro the first Arnold.
Yeah.
And he was like, what do you want to put on the bar? And I was like, fucking put whatever. Let's go. Right?
Fucking badass.
So and that's I think when you start to really push your body, you kind of have to go to that like sort of sick place, just like, I'm not afraid.
You're a fucking animal on the platform. I fucking love it. As soon as you start yelling at that bar, I'm like, okay, he's on.
We're on.
We're going.
It's on.
Like, I reckon any other regular person or any other coach handling you at that time, like, shout out to Max Markopoulos from PTC HQ, because anyone else would have shut themselves with you yelling at him.
Yeah.
He's just standing there like, here we go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you feel after you hit the 1,000?
Again, doing it in front of Arnold.
Again in front of Arnold. I don't remember. Every time that I've blasted a third attempt, I do not remember. I can't remember the lift.
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened after the lift. You go to that place. Well, I can go. I taught myself to go to that place, and it's just.
Yeah.
What's
that place?
Remember, like sickness, rage.
Because we've had the privilege of sharing this conversation. I know we reached out to Gawain to help Kane.
Oh yeah.
We had a similar conversation with Kane actually via video call, and you talk about this place. It's fucking sick. Something that I think I've tried to adopt on my own training, because it's like the way you describe it. And
Typically, it's something that I talk about in seminars, but it just didn't really come up in our conversation yesterday.
No.
It's that walk. You know,
from the chalk bowl.
From the chalk bowl onto the platform, right? It's that walk that we all know, where it's just like, it's almost like a psychotic peace. Yeah, like you could stab a motherfucker right now, but you're at peace. You know, so, and then, you know, for me, it's that peace, it's that like heightened level of focus, and it's like, we need to flip the switch now. And the place that you need to go to, whatever triggers is that you have, you flip that switch on as hard as you can, and let's go. Because, you know, your training should be of something where you don't need to necessarily think about it. If you're going for a 100%, 100 out of 100 max attempt, like, you shouldn't be thinking about like, oh, we've got to keep this tight, I've got to do this, my back, my fucking shoulder might blow out, this sort of nonsense. Like, I shouldn't be thinking about this. I should be thinking about like blasting this life or death. I should just be reacting. So for me, flipping that switch and firing all the way up, like I'm in control, but you know, not in control.
Do you all of a sudden not hear anything anymore?
Yeah, it's weird, bro. It's like a ping, that ping noise. Have you ever been hitting the head? Rugby? Well, the ping from the ears.
Yeah, well, I guess
perforated
that ringing noise. Yeah, Like, I know that feeling. I know that feeling by being hit in the head, like being cracked in the head from football and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, it wakes you up, you know? Yeah.
Because
That
like,
feeling's great.
Dave Tate talks about it as like, you know, that void. You go to that place where you could kill him.
Yeah, you really
and
could.
it's like, but you're not aggressive.
No.
You just, until you get to the bar, you are emotionless, it looks like. But on the inside, it's like a fucking storm.
Yeah, it is. It is. For me, the things that I needed to use to get there, coming back from football, was really, really like life or death situations. Like I tell a story in seminars around, because obviously you get asked this question, you guys get asked this question, what's it like to get under an obscene amount of weight, right? What's it like to get under 1,000 pounds and not be intimidated?
Yeah.
You know? And I tell the story of that, and the situation. I think I've told you this story before. The situation of being in the water.
Yeah.
Have I told this story?
Yeah, we had this conversation with Kane, which is what I've kind of like adopted in my own training.
Yeah.
This is sick.
So the way I think about it is, the way I've taught myself and thought about it is like this. So you make your walk. You're up to your name is called, right? You're ready to go. We make the walk up the platform. Right? We're under the lights. We're holding onto the bar, whatever it is. We're getting ready to go. Right? The switch flips. For me, what triggers in my brain is me floating in water, dark water, like that color dark water.
Yeah.
It's like completely submerged. For whatever reason, I can breathe underwater. Right? Don't know why, just is. Right? No questions. Underwater, floating. I can see a little bit in front of me. And then a flicker. A flicker enough that it gets my attention. Whatever it is in front of me, I'm now concerned with it because it's now moving closer. Eventually I realize that it's a shark. Right? And not any shark. That's a really, 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 really big shark, like Jaws, megalodon shark. Right? I can't swim up. I can't swim away. I'm backed in a corner. Now, this thing is coming at me. What do? I'm not going to die without a fight. If you want to come kill me, then let's go. And that's what's going through my head. Head on with whatever it is, then let's go. And then we execute what we need to do. And then we go squat.
Yeah. That's unreal.
That's amazing. Like, I've gained goosebumps. Like that's like I've heard that so many times, and each time it's just like you go there.
Yeah.
When he tells that, you go there. It's like, let's go.
Let's go lift some weights.
Yeah. Alright, this podcast is done.
Let's get 400 on the bar for Johnny. Let's go.
He'll load it. Probably.
We'll do it.
Let's
do it.
Get me a multiply suit or whatever it takes to
Done.
do that.
Let's go.
Yeah, well, it's like that. It's whatever it takes. It's life or death. You're back against the corner, the gun's against your head. My original coach, Mike, was like, you're backed against the corner, gun against your head, 10 grand, you last on the line, and they're going to kill your family. What are you going to do? Answer.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
So that's your weightlifting coach.
Powerlifting coach.
Powerlifting
coach.
Yeah.
My very first powerlifting coach.
Yeah.
When I was lifting in Capo.
So you
Back in the glory days.
Back in the glory
What was the first comp? What year?
My first comp was 2008 States.
Victoria G Capo States.
Capo States.
Where was that?
That was in the weightlifting center before we got kicked out of the weightlifting center because of PA people. Yeah.
Back in 2008. Jeez.
2008. Yeah, 2008 was States, and then.
Because you guys met 2009. You guys actually know each other for
a long time. 2000. Then I did 2009. Maybe it was 2009 States. Might have been 2009 States, sorry. 2009 States and 2009 Nationals when we were at Billy's gym in Canberra. Which was fucking sick. You know how great that comp was?
I was in grade 11. I did not know how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this conversation with me and Johnny right now. That was a fucking great comp.
I was mind blown.
I was a junior, and like the amount of people that I remember there who were just like obscenely strong. Derek Boyle was there, JC Durbridge, Jeff Lamb, what's the name of the other? Alan Cleese.
Oh, Alan Cleese.
This is when Nathan Wallace was still lifting.
Yeah, jeez.
There's some names.
Mostly
Billy,
all equipped.
Well, this is like the beginning of Raw. So it was you're either like equipped or you had nothing. And these boys were they were big, strong dudes, and just
Raw?
like belt, and that's it.
Fuck. For all of the people listening, like, you know, powerlifting's really come of age in the last 5 years. I mean, those names, they're the cornerstone of powerlifting.
Pioneers of what we were doing back in the day. Maybe it was wraps. I remember wearing wraps. Maybe they were wearing wraps.
No, they're Bennies.
Bennies?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
That's powerlifting. That's old school. Let's go.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
It was just a gym too.
Yeah.
That was a sick gym too.
It was insane. A powerlifting room.
Yeah.
And then a normal room.
For normal.
And this was back like all walked out, no mono.
No, there was a mono.
There was a mono?
There was a mono.
Yeah.
But I think people still walk
Yeah, everyone still
wanted
walks
to.
out.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, Charlie Calero falling asleep in the chair. What else was there? When Laurie Butler and Taylor were there. Yeah, crazy.
That's an insane like list of names.
Yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because you two are the like, you know, I look at you guys like you guys are old school powerlifting. Like no, there's a new age powerlifting. There's I 100% see it, and I think I'm more of that school. But hanging around you two, you guys got this attitude of just like load it and let's go.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it
It's
really,
so
really
different.
is.
Like
we were talking about this yesterday with him. Yeah, it was like that 260 pull. You're like, you know what? It was good, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
He just turns to me and goes, load 291.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm like, well, 280 maybe? He's like, 291.
291, and it should have been It really should have been 311. He could have probably pulled if he put himself in a position a little better. Or maybe a little bit of tail flexion more air.
Well, he pulls 291, and then looks at me and he's like 300.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're doing it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop. No, I'm not even gonna question it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's definitely a different culture. It's definitely softer now.
Softer, do you think, with the introduction of, I guess, the introduction of like, you know, all this mobility and rehabby?
No, I don't think so. I think it's softer because of our culture. And also because there's a lot more people in the sport, so the sample size is obviously bigger, and because of that, it's a little different.
You get more data pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, when you say...
Because back in the day, right, powerlifters were perceived as like, we were criminals, we were fucking bad dudes with tats and savages and shit. Now it's like fancy and just like, I'm gonna do...
You reckon social media's had a play in that?
1,000,000%. Good and bad though. There's good things and bad things about
It's
that.
promoting the sport.
Great, 100%. CrossFit, strongman, all those sort of things. Bodybuilding and things like that as well benefited from this social media platform, but I think it also takes away from the fact that, like, hang on, you need to just be brutal right now, and be a fucking savage and bench and squat and deadlift and not invest so much time in other things which you are probably just getting information from social media, not really sort of investing in yourself to understand why that's not necessarily the thing that you need to do. You just need to fucking train.
I really do think that social media has taken away our ability to critically think.
Yeah.
And to really look at something and go, this is the information. Is that going to apply to me? Can that work for me? Would I be good at that? Instead of looking at someone, doing something on social media which will work for them, but hey, they're just a fucking strong dude that's jacked. Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're like, that works for them. It may work for you, but it also may fucking not. And I think...
See it all the time.
Yeah.
At the start of the year, I said, this year I'm gonna predict the trend. I'm predicting the Zercher squat.
It's coming back, eh?
It's coming back.
There's so many like weird fad things that happens in our industry, man. It's just like, why can't we just be better at squatting and benching and deadlifting? Like, what happened with that? Like, why can't we do that?
I feel like the trend in the whole stability thing.
Yeah.
And like, shout out to our boy John Shell. He's doing it right.
He's
great. He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's doing what he's doing in the industry. Like, I've just gone through his cert course, and that was fucking insane. But then I think people are like, I'm gonna try and do what he does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's one problem.
Yeah.
You're not him.
Yeah. In fact, respectfully, you're not even close.
No.
Right?
Nowhere near it.
And it's...
Because he's like
Jordan's extremely highly intelligent. If you took away his doctrine, right, he's still an extremely high IQ human being. So, like, his ability to communicate and articulate situations and scenarios is far superior to you. I don't give a fuck what you fucking done in school. But his ability to translate book smart into the actual application of how things work is going to be superior to whatever the fuck you think you've done. I don't care. Also, he's a fucking savage of a human being.
He is. That's this fucking man. That's the best thing about him.
Yeah.
Like, we're in this PS fucking Circ course, and he's pulling out shit like he's referencing fucking Constantine Coan. What's his name?
Constantine Johnstone.
That's the one. Yeah. Eddie Coan and like fucking absolute savages of the sport.
Yeah.
There's people in the course that don't know, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Get out.
Yeah, I'm like, get out. Get out of the course. Like,
Yeah.
like, if you do not know who KK is, get out.
Yeah.
He is the definition of savage.
And like
Pour out some for KK.
Yeah,
Rest in peace, homie.
100%. The transgression of that is that people will then be like, feel the entitlement to then try to tell people what to do. You've done Jordan's course, great. What you really should be considering is, and Jordan will tell you this, that you should be taking the information that is provided with you, equipped you with, right, and then processing that and communicating that with your own spiel, right? With
Literally,
your
words
own
in the course.
perception. Oh, really?
Literally, he's like,
Yeah.
man, the 16 weeks. It's a 16-week course. It's pretty intense. Like, man, like it's awesome. He's very intelligent. Sometimes I'm like, dude, you're too intelligent.
Yeah.
Like, but his way, from when I first met him at Pro Rule 9 to now, his way of communicating has changed dramatically. It was so heavy, intense. Like, I'm like,
Science?
yeah, I was like, bro, I can't, like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, he had a course here actually up in Brisbane that year.
Yeah.
And there was three of us that came along, myself, Jace Pagan, and Nick Cowan.
Yeah.
Now, Nick Cowan's got a uni degree. He understood everything. I'm holding on for dear life just from my prior knowledge of being in the sport. I'm like, okay, I know what he's talking about. Pagan's like, I have no fucking idea. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. You know,
But there are people that do that course who still don't have an idea.
True.
That have done the course.
Yeah.
Right, and are now going to prescribe. I'm using that very, very loosely. Prescribe.
There's air quotes for people who are not watching.
That they've done Jordan's course and they're going to give that to customers.
Now they're an expert.
Now you're an expert, and you're actually, from Jordan's perspective, you're actually devaluing his product. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, if there was an opportunity for Geordie to just be like, I can pick and choose who does this, so you can spread the word that I'm trying to say, then you know.
And I've got to bet though,
Probably
like,
uplift
the
people.
quality like for this intake was high. Like, there were some people in there that I'm like, I know who the fuck you are.
Cool.
You are a fucking boss.
Yeah.
And then like, that's what he's trying to replicate. Like,
Yeah.
and those are the people that excel. That go, as you said, take what he said and apply it. Critically think and go, cool. How does this apply to my realm? Because going in, the thing I took away from it the most was just the way he looks at things. Like, a lot of the actual crux of it, the knowledge is like, yeah, cool, I know that.
Yeah.
But it's the way he interprets that information and then challenges you to think about it.
Yeah, how you got there.
How did you get there?
Yeah, and then how you going to
Exactly. And that's the critical level of critical thinking I think the sport's missing now, and what we really need to bring back. And I think that comes from our conversation yesterday. Just asking the right fucking questions. Getting someone to that point to go, cool, what point am I hitting here? Does that make sense? Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. More, 1,000,000%. So,
He's just shaking his head the whole time. Like, fuck this guy.
yeah. But it's where our industry is, where our specific sport is at the moment.
Where do you see it going?
From that aspect, or just in its entirety?
Both? What do you think the next trend is going to be? Because
I refuse to pay attention. Like
we had this conversation.
Yeah,
I hate social media.
I hate social media. I purposely stay secluded away from that sort of shit because it's frustrating. Because there are a handful of dudes and girls who are actually really good at this sport, right? 95% of them can't articulate a conversation at a high level, right? Because that's just the way they are, right? And there are people who are in this for the wrong reason and just taking the piss, right? They're doing this for money as opposed to like changing lives and being fucking strong, you know, which is why we started to do this in the first place, right? I think this will continue to expand and the nonsense around all this sort of stuff for a while. But just like every other ebb and flow, it'll come back around to just like, hang on, how about we just be fucking strong and train our balls off? So you probably find hopefully in the next 12 months that people are just like, hang on, let's just be savages again, you know. And with that knowledge or without that knowledge, it's not going to matter. So
I think I do see. I think I'm a bit. I trained this guy. Like, Johnny's a fucking savage. He's the definition of savage.
Yeah.
And I think up in Queensland especially, there's that. Your persona's taken over. Your persona, the persona of B-Bat is here.
yeah,
Like the amount of, like, I'll put up an Instagram story of this guy, and the amount of messages I get being like, I want to train with him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you do, because he'll make you fucking strong.
yeah,
Not because he'll tell you how to live. Just because being around this guy, you take it to the next level.
yeah, 1,000,000%.
And that's like, I think that's starting to creep back in. Like, you know, you go back fucking 4 years ago, you slap yourself on the platform, it's like, get out.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we can't have that here. Like, and I was like,
Bro.
I remember our first comp I took, I was like, bro, you just can't, like.
Whereas we know
Can't
when
go to the platform.
when we were back in Capra days, for me, like dudes were headbutting bars and bleeding from the
Every
face.
day headbutting barbell on his first attempt,
Yeah.
and then he'd do it on the second attempt, and by the third attempt, out of the hole and fucking soup just pouring off his face.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah, that's fucking sick.
I split my head open a couple of weeks ago, sent him a photo, he's like, this is amazing.
I'm aroused.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a very erect. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. But that mentality is definitely coming back. People,
I hope so.
okay, let me ask you this. You're a very highly emotional, intelligent guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you think it comes back to a little bit of people being afraid to express their real emotion? Do you reckon it comes back to them being fearful of being that kind of vulnerable on that kind of platform?
In respect to
Just being a fucking savage. Like the amount of people like, oh, I just don't get that angry. Like I just can't express that. I'm like, what do you like? In my head, for me, it's like, how can you not? How can you not? Like as you said before, it's to a degree a do or die situation. Like, we're fucking playing some stupid ways.
Yeah.
We're not really meant to be designed to do this.
absolutely not.
So it does take a fucking sick person to get under 1,000-pound squat or whatever relative that is to the person and go, I'm gonna go down and come the fuck back up with you.
Yeah.
You can't be fucking nice. You can't be peaceful to, like, you know, we talk about that peace up to that point. But under that bar, you can't take it like it's fucking nothing.
No, it's not a walk through the garden.
Do you think people are afraid to, like, I guess, express that to, I don't know, fucking whatever they feel?
I think it's two things. So I think it's down to the sample size that we were talking about, the growing sport, which is amazing, but there's just so much more people, right? And so we're obviously looking at we get a viewpoint of 10x the amount of people that we used to get. But the second part to that is just that I just don't think that a lot of people are just.
Or haven't explored that side yet?
I just don't think people are that
Aware?
hard.
Yeah, fair.
I don't think that they're hard anymore.
Well, you spoke about that yesterday. The mindset was privileged mindset.
Right. You know, like I don't think, and obviously us as a culture, and I'm talking about Australia, like we're not near where we used to be. We're not. People would rather take, you know, selfies and photos of what they did at training and things like that, as opposed to training until they're executed perfectly for that 2-hour block. You know, and that to me is like what I would be looking for, as opposed to just like, oh, you know, I don't fucking know. I looked really cool in my shit today, and I did
Look
this.
good myself too. Look
cool.
me. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. People are there to impress others as opposed to excel and looking for excellence, which is.
How did you develop that, like, understanding mindset? Because you spoke, I think, a little bit about it yesterday in your time in Detroit.
It was Detroit.
It was Detroit.
It was Detroit. It was being like having no food, sleeping on the floor, and like nothing else. Like you had to make a jump from not playing a sport, which takes a lifetime, to be able to maybe 1% chance to play, and prove yourself that you're one of the best athletes on the planet. Like that was how, even that experience. Yeah, I didn't make $1 million, but that experience what I took away from that is,
Do you want to explain to the listeners, more about like you went over there to play NFL?
Yeah, I went over there to play NFL, and I got the opportunity to get looked at and work out for some teams.
From powerlifting?
From powerlifting.
Yeah. Back when like powerlifting was...
Back in the Kappa days, you know what I mean? So...
No Instagram.
No Instagram, nothing. That was emails, man. Like, email, video, send me this...
No instant messaging, like...
Send me this...
Why haven't you replied? Like, yeah.
Send it in the zip emails over.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why I was there. And once I realised that it wasn't going to be as simple as what I thought it was going to be, I had to make a decision to, man, you're going to have to go fucking all in on this. And, that experience and what was given to me around me and the challenges around me and the people around me, it educated me to create that mindset for myself, and then obviously explore that with the access to coaching people whilst I was there.
Did you start your coaching, I guess, career? Yeah, I did much coaching, but
no, I coach 6 people. That's all I can really sort of tolerate, because I just can't deal with this lazy culture, this lazy mindset. Like, we're here to work. Like, I don't want to hear about anything else. We need to do this because we want to be great. We're choosing to be great. Like, if you just want to do this and just be like, oh, I kind of want to do this and that, I'm like, congratulations, that's beautiful. Go see someone else. Like, I want savages. I want someone who's like, I want to be the fucking man or woman. And that's essentially the mentality that these young athletes and professional athletes had. In that environment. So they were anywhere between 6 years old to 35 years old. These guys at the 35-year-old spectrum were, 13-year veterans of the sport in the NFL.
Jesus.
So that was embedded in their nature from 5, 6 years old. That every day we get to the gym and we're here to work. We're here to be the best. We're here to improve. Every day. So from 6 years old to 35 years old, they have the mentality with everything that they touch. It's no wonder that they're so much better than us from an athletic development perspective, right?
It's 29 years of speaking.
Imagine you're getting taught how to squat, how to bench, how to run efficiently from a biomechanics perspective, how to eat, how to recover, all that stuff at 6 years old.
Wow.
And then you just set for life.
You were set for life, right? And now, like we were talking about yesterday over lunch, that pool is so much larger now. The amount of people that actually can get through that, not break, not choose to do something else, blah, 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 blah. Even though it's only 0.0001%, it's 400 people who are fucking elite at that, whatever it is that they do. You know what I mean? That 400 people are the guys that are in the Olympics who are dominating, who are in the NFL dominating, in MLB, ice hockey, whatever the fuck they touch. They are dominating what they do because number one, they're athletically gifted, and number two, they have the right mindset.
Sweet. What was some of the biggest athletic performances you saw that you coached over there?
One story I always talk about is because I trained with a couple of guys who were breaking into the NFL. They played Division I college, and these guys were they're freaks, but they also worked their balls off because of the culture that we're in. Yeah. And because we were all hungry to play in the NFL, we were just training our balls off, and that combined with their genetic gifts is just uncanny. Like my boy JC, who after football, he's a coach in somewhere in the West Coast now. I can't fucking remember, but he's a coach on the West Coast now. I'll tell you this story. So like an example that I have was like in the warm-ups, I'm not gifted like these guys. I'm white, I'm 6'2", 6'3", half Asian. I'm not meant to be as big and strong as I'm meant to be right now, right? I'm probably like physically to a degree peaked, right? I can't, it's going to take an insurmountable amount of work capacity for me to go up a level, right? So I'm doing everything that I humanly possibly can to be able to go up a level and be competitive with the dudes who are elite in the sport. So from that perspective, what I'm trying to do is every prehab, every rehab, everything, every time I could just do something better, stretch, I was doing it because I knew I was so far behind, whilst I'm doing that, these guys that I'm training with, they're fucking around. Like, pretend playing basketball and like 360 windmill dunks and shit like that whilst I'm doing my prehab stuff. Like, fuck you. And then we'd lift, and then we'd run, and then we'd go back in the gym, and it's just like,
and they just crush it.
and they would just fucking smash it, and it's just like, how the heck am I going to catch these guys? I was trying to catch dudes, purposely, mentally trying to catch dudes that weren't in my position because they were just athletically superior. So JC, he's 6'3", 105 kilos, sub 10% body fat, ran a 40-yard dash in like 4.3 seconds.
Jeez.
That's fucking insane with like a 38, I think it was, inch vert. It was just insane. Corinthian Gray, who was a defensive back, and mind you, these guys never played in the NFL, right? His brother played with the New England Patriots, was probably maybe a better athlete than him, ran a 4.3 40 as a defensive back. Like, that's so mind-bogglingly fast. My boy Kaon, who was 300 pounds, right, ran his 40 in like 4.6 or something obscene, which is insane. Right, he's so athletically gifted, but just like, how do you deal with a pool of people that are that athletically gifted, right? And it's everyone. How do you separate yourself? You know, so post that, JC is so athletically talented, he went straight into the US bobsled team straight away.
Really?
That's how much of a freak he is.
Holy shit.
But was not good enough to play in the NFL.
Wow.
Walked into the bobsled team. That's like the level of athleticism that we're fucking talking about, you know. And you know, these guys worked their balls off to get there and still failed, and then are where they are now. How many people do you know would work at something every day and continue to return every day and get told no every day? You know what I mean? It wouldn't happen here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, our culture is not that. And then taking that into account, taking a step back and realizing the fact that they've been doing that and having that mentality since they're 6 years old. It's like, it's that light bulb moment. Like, no fucking wonder these dudes are savages and they're so perceived as gifted because they're working their balls off.
Yeah. Do you reckon it'd help them be successful outside of
Business? 1 million percent. 1 million percent. I think Kaon's got a property business now in Detroit, which is, he's uplifting his African American community. Corey is some sort of, I don't know, some sort of police officer, and JC's a coach out on the West Coast, and then you know our coaches are all like spread across and you know picked up to go coach at other combine facilities and things.
Yeah, wow.
And a lot of the kids that we coach are playing professional sports or semi-professional sports now, so the strike rate is extremely high. Guys in the NFL, guys in first round Major League Baseballers and NHL, like training alongside the Detroit Red Wings. Just remind me of another story that I probably should have told, but I'll tell it anyway. Those dudes are fucking freaks. How much ice hockey have you guys watched?
A little
bit. Some of the two toughest sports, like the two toughest athletes that I've ever coached have been from two sports. Number one, ice hockey.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers can go all day long and don't give a fuck. they will literally run, puke, and keep running. And then keep going, and then puke, and then keep going. Second to that, wrestling. Wrestlers are freaks. They're just like, they're a glutton for punishment. They don't care. They have that I will not break mentality. They're freaks. So but by far the most ridiculous athlete I've ever seen, well, in my life, was actually a figure skater.
Yeah, right. Okay.
A male figure skater. He was a fucking freak. When we're talking about application of athleticism and an application of efficiency of movement, unbelievable. I've never seen anyone move like this before. There's a photo on my Instagram with him, and he's only like this big. He's only like 5'6", man. He was so good at figure skating, so good at his sport. They actually had to change the rules at an Olympic level to ensure to give someone else a fucking chance. That's how insane he was. Right, he would do his drills. So he'd come in. So his schedule was coming in the morning. So I'd be coaching in the morning. He'd come in and do his field drills for about an hour and a half. Walk across the parking lot to the skating rink. Do a skate for like a couple of hours. right? And then go home, eat, sleep, whatever the other media shit that he has to do, and go back and do the same thing again later in the day. It's just like fucking freak of a human being. So he'd come in and he'd do a warm-up drill, right? Which was basically like a single leg hop.
Yeah.
But he had to land a certain way. And if he didn't land a certain way, he'd start again. So like he would get halfway through his work. If he got halfway through, he'd start at 1 again.
Wow.
So if he had to do 10 reps and he got to 8 and he fucked up, he'd start at 1.
And go again.
And go again and over and over. He's fucking amazing. And like it showed because number one, multiple time Olympic gold medalist, and just the way he moves is just, you know, when you watch Usain Bolt or 100-meter sprinters, it looks effortless.
Yeah.
Him moving looks effortless because it's so efficient around his mechanics. You know, you look at guys who, specific to our sport, who bench or deadlift or squat, and you're just like, fuck, that looks so easy, that was so fast, they had 10, 20 kilos in them.
Yeah.
But it was so perfect and efficient that they know that it's not, they don't have much more.
Yeah.
You know? So same sort of thing. Amazing experiences, and I obviously took that into, you know, it took time, but taking all that experience and going, yeah, I didn't get to play in the NFL, but what I get to do now is I get to apply it to my life.
Yeah, what an education.
Yeah, but that was a real quick hard education because, you know, the circumstances around it was I was literally sleeping on my coach's floor with this idea that I could play in the NFL. You know, so, and I just refused to give up. It wasn't until I just continually was getting hurt because I was so malnourished that I was just...
And you're a Detroit man now. Like for a lot of people that haven't gone over, that's pretty rough.
It's rough, man. There's parts of it which is, you know, don't get out of the car, don't wind out the window, ensure that the child locks on when you're driving through the streets. I got fucking lost near 8 Mile. I went to go, where did I go? Yeah, bro. I went to go pick up my coach. He had something to do in Mexico and was coming back. And he's like, oh, can you come grab me from the airport? I don't know how to get to the airport. I never did it in America. I was like, okay, whatever. Made my way on the highway, ended up in the fucking ghetto somewhere, and like took a wrong turn. I just remember a whole bunch of dudes just be out in the street, and I was like, I'm lost, I'm dead. I need to find some Wi-Fi somewhere, otherwise I'm fucked.
Oh fuck. It's like, because that's the shit, like, you know, you see it in movies, you're like, it's not like that. But it's like that. It is like,
yes it is.
I'm loving that.
Yes it is. You gotta, like, one of the most intimidating situations was going into a bottle-o.
Yeah.
And like the entire bottle-o is like guarded up. You know what I mean? It's all... Dude behind the counter has got guns, right? And it's got like bulletproof glass. It's like that fucking thick. It's crazy.
Fuck.
For a fucking bottle.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, but fucking cool.
Got a bottle of those here, and he's like going to a fucking nice store.
Yeah, no way is that gonna happen.
That's
no
insane.
way.
Man, like just growing up in that culture, like.
You have to be tough.
Yeah, you got to be.
You have to be tough. I said it yesterday. Like, you grow up in that culture, a lot of these kids, they don't have parents, right? Because their parents are dead or they're drug addicts, so they're living with grandma. And if they come into the gym, like they're talented, so someone has seen them, or they've created an opportunity to talk to coach around, you know, changing their lives because they're gifted. So, you know, you don't have a choice.
It's amazing. Like they come from those circumstances, but they've got this talent, they've got this gift. It's like I've got. Like, this is my chance to make it somewhere else.
Yeah.
If I don't,
I'm fucked.
That's it.
Yeah, and they'll have that understanding and self-awareness at 6 years old.
So they know it's all in.
They know they're all in. They're all in.
Incredible coaching.
Yeah, man. It's yes, Coach G, and that's it.
That's unreal.
Yeah. If I said we had to do another 10 sets, or I was mad at you because that wasn't great, and I make you run, you were gonna fucking run.
And they'll run hard.
And they all run hard. And if I saw you take some slack off, I would tell you to run again, and there was no questions asked.
Damn.
That is it.
That's a mentality that's just not seen here.
Nope. That's why we suck.
Don't get that at the gym.
Nope.
like these kids, the kids at 6.
Yep.
Man, I remember being 6 years old, fucking.
Bro, I remember being 25 years old and being like lazy. Fuck, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still my finger in my nose.
Yeah.
I think it's still in my nose. That's insane.
Yeah.
So you're quite successful now in your career as well. Like you're a business banker.
Yep.
I don't know much more than that or how to explain it. But like, you do businessy stuff with
I
banks.
do businessy stuff
How do you
with
go
banks.
from coaching in the US
Yeah,
to business bank?
exactly.
I needed to because
What's your education background?
I have a double degree in commerce.
This guy.
Well, but finance and commercial law. But like, my mum wanted me to be a barrister, but you know, number one, I didn't have the grades, and because I was lazy, and number two, like, I spent some time as a clerk, and it turned me straight off. I was like, I don't want to do this at all. And then I began PTing, and then once I got the opportunity with football and came back, I was like, I need to do something with my life just to put food on the table.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, well, banking or anything related to that's quite easy.
Yeah.
So.
For you?
Well, yeah, it's not hard. I don't find it really hard because the majority of corporate business and things like that is really relationship building anyway. You know, you can teach yourself, you can learn how to add, subtract, blah, 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 right? But building relationships is something that you're not taught.
No.
Right? And which is where, you know, why I do well at my job.
How did you develop that skill? Because knowing your background, you're a very shy kid.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
happened. It happened.
Oh, fuck, I don't know. You know, I really don't have an answer. I genuinely don't. I am by nature super shy. But what I do is like, you know, I enjoy learning and hearing stories and telling stories and hearing about these things and getting better. So
You are definitely one of the best storytellers I've ever heard. Like you're just engaging.
Yeah,
That's your only-
I always cop shit about my storytelling because like I'll start telling a story and the boys will be like, oh, here we go, here's the fucking story. But I know deep down that they enjoy my stories.
Yeah, it's deep down they're like, nah, keep going.
No.
Tell
What
me
happened with that again? What happened again?
Give you shit, actually.
Actually.
Can you repeat the thing?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
So where do you see,
Banking's
what's on the game for Gawain this year?
a lot. I got a lot of travel coming. Got a lot of stuff with powerlifting coming.
Sick.
Some of which I can't talk about yet.
Could have been an exclusive platform.
I'll give you a hash exclusive.
This is amazing. This is
Awesome.
our first exclusive.
You're welcome. I was actually talking with Ricky about it last night.
Tell Ricky first. This guy.
Well, we're gonna tell the king.
He is the king.
Go tell the king.
Shout out to the king.
You know, every time you mention the king, you've got to have a button where something king related, like some royalty button.
Yeah.
Alright, that's what you gotta do.
I'm happy with that. Ricky Goodyear.
Ricky Goodyear is the king. I'll put it to you like this. Imagine, because part of my passion is to uplift the Southeast Asian culture. Having Asian heritage is something that I'm prideful about, but what I am I'm disappointed and passionate about growing is Asian culture. And what I mean by that is that, you know, predominantly speaking, when we think of Asian culture from an athletic perspective, short, skinny, weak, you know, not high-level sports. Yeah, you got some Manny Pacquiao's. Yeah, you have, you know, some Hilton Diaz, who's an amazing weightlifter, but only at an Asian level. And that's really about it. They're the biggest Asian athletes I can think of off the top of my head. But you're talking about a population of like 2 billion. So how did we get to the point where we suck? We have 24 million, 25 million in Australia. We have a lot of amazing athletes. We have, you know, swimmers, you know, cricketers, all that sort of thing. So how do I influence 2 billion people to demand more of themselves in order so that we can uplift a country, a population, to put themselves on the fucking map?
Yeah.
How do I do that? You're just gonna have a giant set of Johnny B. Bad balls and just be like, I will talk to everyone.
That's a pretty fucking sick mission.
Yeah, vision. So, you know, my experiences in Manila, my experiences in Malaysia in particular, has been really, really great so far. You know, met people from Vietnam and Singapore and all these sort of things. So what I will say is, imagine that you had a competition where the top 5, and obviously we can't emotively attach ourselves to this because we don't really have this, but you could have the same sort of concept in Europe. But imagine you had the top 5 from 6 different countries, every weight class, battle it out in one place, giant sponsorships, TV coverage.
Sick.
Right? Now, if you pick that up and park it for a second and go, okay, what does that Asian culture have that's different than ours? Asian cultures, the difference between that Asian culture and our culture around sporting people is totally different. Right? It is black and white different. If you're an athlete in Asia and you're pretty good, like, you're a god. If I can go to Manila and get asked for photos in the streets and all these sort of things, then imagine someone who's actually like representing full on Philippines plus TV coverage. So the idea is to bring them all into one place, battle it out on a powerlifting stage with TV coverage and commentary and big cash prizes, and to grow that from there. So that's the concept that we're working with at the moment.
That's fucking cool.
Which is fucking cool.
That's an exclusive platform podcast.
Yeah. Imagine you could do that, and people, like particularly Asian countries, where you can support them enough where they can live.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Which is cool.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big year putting that together.
Yeah, that.
Travel.
The travel lined up. Probably at this stage going to be in Manila in April, over Easter. Some more promotional stuff. They've got a big comp. I've got my comp.
Yeah, with Gawain.
I forgot about that. Not even. They named the comp after me in Manila.
The Gawain Johnstone Classic.
Yeah, Gawain Johnstone Classic. I'm like, that's ridiculous. So that, and then Easter, where they have Manila has a cash prize comp.
Fuck yeah.
Which is sick. I went and attended that and guested that last year, which was fucking insane. I met Bill Kazmaier, who's a fucking lunatic. Travel, and then everything else. There's probably heaps of other shit I just can't think of right now. I've got to try to get ready for my own comp.
You'll come back up to Brisbane.
Come back to Brisbane to do another coaching day again, which would be fun as.
And just to visit, you know.
So, hey, my house up here.
Yeah. And just go to my parents.
Yeah, I just live with Greco's parents. Have 6 square meals a day.
I think they're happy.
Yeah,
They would. We went to dinner last night. He's like, I got one goal. I'm going to charm your mother. I'm like, no, you won't. Leave dinner. Gawain is such a nice boy. Oh, fuck. Great. Clinton Gawain in one house.
Everything, you can't touch anything in that house.
No, that's awesome. All right, you need them with the questions?
Yeah,
These are our questions.
Are these the questions?
These are the questions.
All right, are these like rapid fire or?
Rapid fire, quick answers.
First thing that comes to your mind?
First thing that comes to your mind.
Dick.
There's
That
big or small.
Okay, really girthy.
Favorite color.
Blue.
Favorite movie.
Departed.
If you could have dinner with anyone, who would it be?
My dad.
Spirit animal.
Polar bear.
Favorite food.
Burgers.
Would you rather look like a potato or feel like a potato?
Feel like a potato, because I don't know what that would feel like, so I'm curious now.
Favorite superhero?
Hulk.
Do you believe in Santa?
No.
Do you cry in movies?
Yes.
last movie you cried in?
Fuck. I don't know, anything to do with like family stuff I cry.
That's fair.
Beautiful.
Now,
It's probably a Disney movie.
Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen.
not allowed to use powerlifting for this.
Okay.
What is one thing that you do that could make you famous?
That I could do.
That you're really good at that we don't know about?
I believe I can act.
Yes.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, thanks.
I want to see this.
Yeah. I've done some TV stuff whilst I was in Manila, and I have some stuff coming up, and I believe I can achieve it.
Sick.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
Take the piss out of myself.
He's just like, I'm actually really good at acting, but we don't know yet.
Yeah.
Here you go.
You'll see.
This is sick.
I need to nail a couple of things first.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Have you ever like done any acting classes yet?
No.
Just
Pretend to be your friend for the past 4 years.
wow. Wow, the bird.
Yeah, and he said a lot of nice things about you, so you sold it well.
Wow, that was okay. You're not coming back. No, that's awesome, man. Like, I think anyone listening to this, there's fucking so much people can take away. If you were to give, now it's talking lifting aspect.
Yeah.
You give 3 pieces of advice to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Not, you can say get a coach, but just with a bit more.
I'm not going to say get a
Oh,
coach.
thanks. No offense to Polly for saying giving that answer. Actually, fuck you, Polly.
You ain't here, fuck you.
3 pieces of advice.
Be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Be a good person.
It's a fucking good one.
And the last one is, I would say set your goals.
Those 3 things could literally just change. Like, they're so basic.
Yeah. But
They could
we're not good at basics.
Not a lot of people doing that.
Nah.
We had that discussion again
Yeah.
yesterday. Man, thank you so much. That was fucking awesome. Like,
How long did we have we chatted for?
just on an hour now.
57 seconds.
Okay.
1 hour and 1 minute.
That was so short.
Yeah, no. We're definitely gonna get you back on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Next time you're up, we're down for
Pro.
Pro. But we might.
Bring all the toys.
Yeah, bring the toys. We'll talk about some other stuff.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We'll get you on with Ed.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Yeah, there'll be the handsome and the dwarf guy. Fuck Ed Coan. They could be your soundbite. Fuck Ed Coan.
You heard it here first. #1 Filipino lifter.
Ed will never talk to me again.
Next minute. Fuck you, Gawain. Oh man, thanks so much. We will definitely catch up again soon. Like, obviously you're gonna come back up, we're coming down. That was dope. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you again for coming up this weekend.
Thanks for having me.
That was fucking like what you've done for me this weekend, like personally and professionally.
Yeah.
Never go unnoticed.
Thank you.
It's greatly appreciated, and being there for the awards dinner as well. Shout out to Johnny Bebad for picking up our fucking team member award.
Shout out to community.
That was, no one more deserving of that.
Where are you going to put it?
I wanted to be on the wall in this gym in Brando's office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do like consults and stuff in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, just put it behind you.
Yeah, but see, like with the.
No, actually, put it there. Because when people literally fucking walk in the room, they'll be like, who's this Johnny character?
Yeah, it's good. It's either
Your answer's going to be, how dare you not know who Johnny Bebad is?
It's either near there, and then the honour boards for the Epic Legacies, which is what we introduced last night. So Epic Legacies is our Hall of Fame, which is sick.
Do you do like a leaderboard thing, record board? In
Yeah, they're down in the gym.
Did I miss it?
It's in the gym, yeah, you missed it.
Okay.
It's cool, it's alright.
Sorry.
Polly's at the top, he won't, whatever. But yeah, we're going to have our honour boards here for the years to come of the best male and female lifters of the year. And then the other one will be the Epic Legacies, so that Hall of Fame.
Sweet.
It's going to be dope. But yeah, we can put that award up.
Sick.
Done. Alright, thank you.
Where do we find it?
Where do we find you? That's the thing, we got to do that on the
Social
podcast.
media.
Oh, my social media. Just my full name on Facebook, Gawain Johnstone, and 85G Unit on Instagram.
Sick. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks.
We'll chat.
Actually, you know what I was starting to do?
When?
A couple of weeks ago now.
Cool.
It's like I was starting to do, and I'd love to get your feedback around this as well.
Yeah.
I was starting to film all my workouts and then talk myself through the entire workout. What I was thinking, what I'm worried about, my coaching sort of things.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done. I want to see that.
Yeah. And then I was just gonna put it on my YouTube and just like talk myself.
So we can find you on YouTube as well.
Yeah, my full name, but like that just dropped my name. Like I should do this more.
You need to do that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I will.
Sick.
Legend. Thanks so much.
Cheers, boys. Yeah.
Danish time.
Danish.
You gotta clap.